Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Welcome. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Morning there. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Gauranga, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gaurabhakta Vrinda, Nityananda Gauranga, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Jesus Prabhupada, 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 Jesus Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Gauranga, Nityananda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga, Nityananda. Radha Radha Govinda, Radha Radha Govinda, Radha Radha Govinda, Radha Radha Govinda. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Radha Govinda, Radha Radha Govinda, Radha Radha Govinda, Radha Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Govinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Purchase your tracks today.
Hey everybody, this is a stony experience. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Radha, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Woo! Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Radha Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Radhe Govinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radhe Radhe Govinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Radhe Radhe Govinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Radhe Radhe Govinda, Shri Krishna. Radhe Govinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radha 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 Radhe 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 Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Radhe Radha Govinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Gauranga, 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 Nityananda, Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga. Oh, Krishna, Radhe Radhe Govinda. Oh, Krishna, Radhe. Woohoo. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Radhe Govinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna, Krishna Govinda, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Radhe Govinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Govinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radhe Govinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radhe Govinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radhe Govinda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Ooh. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Woo! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Thanks for using.
Hey, Jaya Jaya, Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Good morning, everybody. Ah, you want to have kirtan? Yeah. Where are you, William? What state are you in? Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Go Bhakti Sri Prema Samput. So the disguised Sri Krishna ah, the disguised Sri Krishna assumed the sweet voice of a younger lady and showered alluring words. This is Sri Prema Samput. Continuing on. Uh, the disguised Sri Krishna assumed the sweet voice of a young lady and showered alluring words as sweet as nectar upon all those present. Like chakora birds, Sri Radha and her Sakis drank every word with eager hearts. Sri Radha and her Sakis drank every word with eager hearts. In this way, they experienced supreme bliss and felt such astonishment that the mere words cannot describe. Hearing the sweet talk of the beautiful new girl, they reveled in a bliss equaled only by the rapture they felt upon hearing the talk of Sri Krishna himself. Oh, I went too far. Okay, sorry. Gotta go back. Uh, the continued silence of the beautiful young damsel only served to increase Sri Radha's apprehension. "O comely one," she said, "has your co-wife become proud and intoxicated by her tiny drop of good fortune? Has her has her intelligence become corrupt? And as a result, has she pierced your heart with arrows?"
The picture is frozen and there's no sound. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare.
You're back.
You're back. Oh, was I off for a bit? Okay. Okay, we're back, huh? Hmm. Are you suffering separation from your beloved? Or have you become exceedingly perturbed upon discovering some shortcoming in him? I think I have to read this another time. All right. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakti. Here's Majjhikanda, chapter 18. Sri Chaitanya portrays the gopis through dance. Let's try that. All glories to Lord Gaurachandra, the benefactor of the world. All glory to Lord Chaitanya, the benefactor of the world. Kindly place your lotus feet upon a cushion deep within.
It's frozen again, and there's no sound again. Whoa, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Wow. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna. Back again. All glory to you and your devotees. All glory to you and the devotees. One attains the highest perfection, Krishna Prem, by hearing the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya as he gradually unfolds the transcendental mystery of the congregational chanting of Lord Krishna's holy name. All glories to Lord Gaurachandra, the benefactor of the world. Yeah, he benefits us with this bliss, giving us this bliss and discipline. See, you get the this benefit. The benefactor, he's the benefactor. But his benefit comes through the mind. See, kindly place your lotus feet upon the cushion deep within my heart. You are the life and soul of Lord Nityananda. And Swar Damodar Goswami. See, he wants to give that same glory to the people of the world. You know, that life and soul, which is him. You know, his Satchidananda, manifestation. You know, living inside your temple of the heart, temple of the body. Yeah. You are the abode of all excellences. See? All excellences. He's the abode. That's why the devotee, then we become the abode by taking shelter of the Lord, and he becomes our life and soul. And for the world, you become the abode of all excellences for people, because you give him to the world. You give him, her, Radha and Krishna combined. That's his life force, man. Becomes our life force. See, win-win. The Lord wants to make his devotees as good as himself. Isn't that amazing? What a glory, huh? And then somebody actually wants, here in the world, people want to make people slaves. And the Lord wants to make his people in the world now, in Kali Yuga especially, as good as himself. You get all the benefits. This is such a beneficial thing. I tell you, this is the highest benefit. You want benefit? Become a devotee of Lord Chaitanya. Come in the real line. Come associate with these great devotees here. Conclusive persons who understanding things as they are. So simple. Come learn how to chant the holy name in great ecstatic love, simply by association. Become more and more attracted to Radha and Krishna and Lord Chaitanya. This is the highest benefit here. That's the highest benefit, is this attraction that Swarab Damanar had and Nityananda had. Oh, Lord wants to give it to us. Isn't that amazing? All glories to you and your devotees. Yeah. See, these kind of devotees whose life and soul is the Lord, who know what is such an Ananda. Not those who criticize the Lord, No. Or those who don't know the Lord and are pretending to. No, not the pretenders, the real devotees who know that Sat, see, the eternal form of the Lord. See, the Ananda, that's eternal. See, that's the eternal. And the Chit, understanding, real knowledge as it is. See, this is eternal. See, that's the Guru is the real sun in this world, the real light, conclusive truth. Devotion is the key to the lock of the chains that bind us. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, devotion is the key. It's like salt on vegetables, man. It gives some flavor to the vegetables, otherwise they're not very flavorful. The same thing with the name. The devotion gives flavor to the name. Yeah, the emotion, the attachment. Oh yeah, that's where it's at. Kindly hear these narrations of Madhukanta attentively as they reveal the pastimes of Vishvambara dancing, dressed as Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, and the eternal consort of Lord Narayan. The book is good, but it's a little heavy. So you need a book stand. One day, Vishvambara told his devotees that he wanted to dance he wanted a dance drama arranged. He called for Buddhimanta Khan and instructed him, prepare a stage for a dance drama and get the costumes, conch shell, bangles, braziers, silk saris, ornaments, and other items for everyone. I will take the role of Lakshmi Devi. Gadadhar Pandit and will take the role of Rukmini Devi. And Brahmananda will be her lady companion. You know how people they want to cross dress here. They want men want to dress as women and stuff like this. It's an imitation of the Lord's pastimes. See, this is pure. This is really wonderful. The other thing is kind of kinky. It's got an edge to it. It's to do with the material body. This is the spiritual. So the devotees, they're dressing as gopis and stuff, men dressing as women, everything. But that's nothing wrong with that because they're actually dressing in their real position, in their previous lives, their eternal forms. So there's no problem. Here, people are just, they just cross-dressing in material bodies. It's not really. That's why it's not very beautiful usually. It's, mm. I will take the role of Lakshmi Devi, and Gadadhar Pandit will take the role of Rukmini Devi. I will take the role of Lakshmi Devi, and Gadadhar Pandit will take the role of Rukmini Devi, and Brahmananda will be her lady companion, Suprabhata. And Nityananda will play my grandmother. And Haridas will play the guard responsible to keep everyone awake. Srivas will be Narada Muni, and Sri Ram will be the Brahmana disciple and take messages, and Sriman will insist on being the torchbearer. So Buddhimanta, quickly go and arrange everything. I want to dance. Sadashiva and Buddhimanta became very enlivened and happily went off to make the necessary arrangements. God, kind of cold in here. So heat on. I got to get a hat and a scarf, I think. Srivas will be Narada Muni, and Sriram will be his Brahmana disciple and take messages, and Sriman will insist on being the torchbearer. So Buddhimanta, quickly go and arrange everything. I want to dance. Sadashiva and Buddhimanta became very enlivened and happily went off to make necessary arrangements. He pulled out a canopy and made in Katiya for just such occasions and built a nice enclosure and stage. He also brought the different required costumes and placed them before the Lord. Vishwambara was pleased with the costumes, and he said, "Today I will dance as a potency of the consort of the Supreme Lord. Only those who are in control of their senses may enter the house to see the performance. Others could not enter." At first, upon hearing that Vishwambara would dance as Lakshmi Devi, the Vaishnava was very happy and excited. Later, when the Lord explained the conditions he had set, they became depressed in spirit. Okay, Tom, you can read a little bit here now. So Chaitanya Bhagavat, page 446, second paragraph. Ooh, yeah.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Page 446.
Page 446. Yeah, second paragraph.
I hear an echo.
I hear an echo. Yeah. Okay, is it maybe something to do with do you have too many devices on or something?
No.
No. No? Okay, then I'll just mute my mic.
Yeah, Shrilagar does. Thank you. Well. Oh. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. The first person to react was Advaita Acharya. The first person to react was Advaita Acharya. He drew a line upon the floor and said, I cannot see the dance today. He drew a line upon the floor and said, I cannot see the dance today. I come under the category of persons with uncontrolled senses. I come under the category of persons with uncontrolled senses, so I have no business seeing the dance. So I have no business seeing the dance. Srivas Pandit joined in saying, yes, I also feel the same way. Chaitanya gave a short laugh and said, if you do not come, then for whom am I to dance? If you do not come, then for whom am I to dance? Lord Chaitanya, the supreme scintillating actor, Lord Chaitanya, the supreme scintillating actor, reviewed his instructions and said, all of you do not worry. All of you do not worry. Today you will be the most perfected and self-controlled yogis. All of you do not worry. Today you will be the most perfected and self-controlled yogis. You will not be attacked by delusion upon seeing my dance. You will not be attacked by delusion upon seeing my dance. Advaita Acharya, Srivas Pandit, and all the other Vaishnavas became merry again and followed the Lord to Chandrasekhara Acharya's house. Advaita Acharya, Srivas Pandit, and all the other Vaishnavas became merry again and followed the Lord to Chandrasekhara Acharya's house. Mother Sachidevi, accompanied by Vishnupriya Devi, and the female relatives of all the Vaishnavas went to attend Chaitanya's dance performance, which they had heard would be a unique opportunity to see Chaitanya portraying Lakshmi Devi. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Chandrasekhara Acharya was indeed a very fortunate soul. Chandrasekhara Acharya was indeed a very fortunate soul to have Chaitanya reveal such an unprecedented pastime in his house. To have Chaitanya reveal such an unprecedented pastime in his house. Chaitanya sat down with all the devotees.
Yeah, it's very the esoteric understanding of that is very interesting. So Lord Chaitanya first says, okay, I'm going to do a dance, very confidential. I'm going to show you basically like a rasa dance between a devotee, his highest devotee, and God. So he's going to play Rukmini, like this is like he's going to show his love, very confidential, And he says, well, if you're a yogi in control of your senses, then you can come. And then they all says, well, we're not really perfect in our self-control and all this, and we're not qualified. See, a lot of people are trying to get qualified to understand God, to enter into his intimate association. But then the Lord says, well, especially in Kali Yuga, how am I going to get anybody qualified? So today, I'm going to give you free entrance. You're going to be able to see this confidential exchange between a devotee. This is the rasa dance, the devotee and the Lord. You're going to see ecstasy. You're going to see Satchidananda, and you won't be attacked by illusion. See, attacked by illusion is when you see it, you criticize it. You go, rah, 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 oh, you're attacked by illusion. That's an illusion. It's the most beautiful thing in the world to see a devotee relating to God. This most auspicious thing you can see in your whole lifetime. People can go many, many lifetimes and not even see a person loving God. They don't know, it doesn't show. You just see people, loving their sons and their daughters, their money and their boats and all this stuff. See, all of this stuff. Or loving demigods devoted to these mundane demigods. They've still got motives and ulterior motives in this, and they're adoring rock stars and everything. And a lot of them are evil now, finding out. And so the Lord says, because you want to see the dance, I'm going to just let you in. And this is the only qualification. This was the secret of Jesus by saying, oh yeah, if you just believe in me, all your sins will be gone. Okay? If you believe in Satchidananda when it's on this planet, Satchidananda is like the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. That's those who represent the spiritual dimension here. If you just are eager to enter into that, that is your only qualification. Enter in means if you're just eager to come into the association of devotees that are eager to connect intimately with the Lord, then you can get in. That is the only qualification. Otherwise, there's no entrance. You can sit there and chant till you're blue in the face, chant 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs. Go ahead. Try it out. See if you get in. People, they think they're going to do it attained by their own strength. But the Lord just comes here especially now in the form of his real representatives of the spiritual world. And all the people, you want to get into this inside. You want to go inside the inner pastimes of the Lord and know all these esoteric things. It just takes the qualification of eagerness to do so. Eagerness to associate with the devotees. Eagerness to hear the simple instructions they give. Yeah. And if you don't follow them, if the Lord, is trying to make it so easy, but if you can't even follow that because of who knows what's and desires you got, then you don't get in. Or you try to get in some other way and you're thrown out, with some ulterior motives. So that's really the essence. And so the devotees, they were the friends of the Lord, and they're very eager to see those confidential things. And therefore the Lord says, oh, okay, well, I'll just feeling very magnanimous. I'm going to let you guys come in. And that same thing is going on now. Anybody can come in now. If you have the eagerness, and you won't be, if you're attacked by illusion, that is basically to see a rope as a snake. See, that's illusion. Then you're thrown out. You just wander somewhere else. But at least you saw something, so that's good. Okay, go ahead, Tom.
Advaitacharya, and all the other Vaishnavas became merry again and followed the Lord to Chandrasekhar Acharya's house. Mother Sachi Devi, accompanied by Vishnu Priya Devi and the female relatives of all the Vaishnavas, went to attend Chaitanya's dance performance, which they had heard would be a unique opportunity to see Chaitanya portraying Lakshmi Devi. Chandrasekhara Acharya was indeed a very fortunate soul to have Chaitanya reveal such an unprecedented pastime in his house. Chaitanya sat down with all the devotees and allocated the different roles to them. Advaita Acharya, with folded hands, inquired repeatedly, "Which role would you like me to play? Which role would you like me to play?" The Lord replied, "All the roles are at your disposal. All the roles are at your disposal. Choose whichever you like." Advaita Acharya was at a loss as to which role to play. Advaita Acharya was at a loss as to which role to play. He made the usual expressions and danced about floating on clouds of ecstasy. He made the usual expressions and danced about floating on clouds of ecstasy. The other Vaishnavas began a jubilant melodious Krishna Kirtan. The other Vaishnavas began a jubilant melodious Krishna Kirtan led by Mukunda, who sang with a clear, charming voice, "Sing Rama, Krishna, Hari, Gopala, Govinda." First to enter the drama arena was Haridas Thakur, dressed as a guard, flourishing a fully grown, flowing moustache. First to enter the drama arena was Haridas Thakur, dressed as a guard, flourishing a fully grown, flowing moustache, a turban tied around his head, and a piece of cloth tied tightly around his waist. A turban tied around his head, and a piece of cloth tied tightly around his waist. With an ominous looking stick, he warned everyone, here now, my brothers, look sharp and sit up. The Lord and Soul of the universe, Sri Chaitanya, will now dance as Lakshmi Devi." He wiggled his stick and paced about as his body horripilated due to loving sentiments for Krishna. He wiggled his stick and paced about as his body horripilated due to loving sentiments for Krishna. In the audience, this stirred the same spiritual emotions. In the audience, this stirred the same spiritual emotions. With a loud and arrogant voice, he declared, "Worship Lord Krishna, render service unto him and chant his holy names. Worship Lord Krishna, render service unto him and chant his holy names." The devotees broke out into peals of laughter. seeing his new appearance of Haridas, and asked, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" Haridas Thakura replied, "I am a guard in Vaikunta. I am a guard in Vaikunta. Continuously, I travel everywhere to awaken Krishna consciousness in all. Continuously, I travel everywhere to awaken Krishna consciousness in all. The Supreme Lord has left his eternal abode, Vaikunta, to descend here and distribute Krishna Prema indiscriminately and profusely. The Lord has left his eternal abode, Vaikunta, to descend here and distribute Krishna Prema indiscriminately and profusely. Today he will dance in the role of Lakshmi Devi. Today he will dance in the role of Lakshmi Devi. So you should diligently and greedily collect the available love of Krishna. Wow. So you should diligently and greedily collect the available love of Krishna. Wow. Hare Krishna. Saying this, he twirled his handlebar moustache and moved about the arena, stamping and loudly exclaiming with his partner Murari Gupta. Saying this, he twirled his handlebar moustache and moved about the arena, stamping and loudly exclaiming with his partner Murari Gupta. Both these devotees.
Can you read a couple sentences back again? A few sentences back.
Okay. The devotees broke out into pearls of laughter, seeing this new appearance of Haridas, and asked, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" Haridas Thakura replied, "I am a guard in Vaikunta. Continuously I travel everywhere to awaken Krishna consciousness in all. The Supreme Lord has left his eternal abode, Vaikunta, to descend here and distribute Krishna Prema indiscriminately and profusely. Today he will dance in the role of Lakshmi Devi. So you should diligently and greedily collect the available love of Krishna."
This is the secret here, isn't it? The Lord, when you see, like when you come to Sadhu Sangha and you see this love of God manifesting, you diligently and greedily collect it. See, that's what it's about. See? And you collect it like this. Lalita's a good collector. She can learn from her. She knows how to collect. Suck it up like a vacuum. And yeah, that's the thing. See, Lord Chaitanya was in the role of a devotee, Rukmini, and expressing his love and all that. That's when you come to Sadhu Sangha and you see devotees doing that. You know, they're loving God. So people who come because of spiritual desire and greed and realizing that this is what I want. This is the kind of intimacy I want. This is where it's available. There's like a little sadhu sangha program there, that dance. So the Lord internally is doing that. When you see devotees loving Krishna intimately, like him in the mood of Rukmini, that's where to be. That's where you'll collect, and the only place you'll collect this love of God. You collect so many things: purification, qualification, everything, just from being in presence. As Krishna says, sadhu sangha is really the only way to attain me. That me being Vrindavan Krishna, amongst devotees who are got it. You know, they've attained that mood, that level of worship, that kind of worship, unique kind of worship. Yeah. So what did Haridas say? I'm just going around waking people up. See, waking people up is this kind of preaching. Hey man, wake up. Time to wake up. Why are you chasing illusions and wisps of wind out there? Come, learn how to collect this bhakti. Come to sadhu sangha. Best instruction you can, so that's what devotees do who chant the holy name in ecstasy. Oh, come, collect Lord Chaitanya's mercy. He's given it out. Get Bhakti Lata Beach. Be an association of ecstatic devotees. Very simple. And no one else can give it. No Vaidhi Bhaktas. If they don't have this Bhakti, you can't get it there. They won't even, River knows. She went over to these Namahatas and all that. This isn't, what's available here is not available there. Purushat is not available, even though they all say, "Oh yeah, I'm just as ecstatic as Gaur Hari." Yeah, sure. You can never see it, but they can say. People can say anything. Oh, of course, my guru has love of God. Oh yeah. But you'll never say it. Yeah. Lalita said something. It was really interesting. She was reading from this book, I think, about glories of going to the Dham and all this, and the Acharyas always do this. I really like it. And today I got this realization. And she actually explained it too. I thought, wow, she's really picking up on this deep stuff. She says, one should go to Gadrum, which is Mayapur, and those who live there, and even if you give up your guru and you go there, I thought, wow, that's interesting. Even I think it was Bhakti Vinod Thakur who wrote that book, probably, or somebody, or Prabodhana, somebody. But they said, even leave your guru to go to Gadrum, to go to Mayapur, and so there's two dhams. Mayapur is a dham, right? The other dham is the devotee, and devotee's better, see? Because there you see the ecstasy of the dham. There you don't necessarily, you go there, you'll see a lot of Vaidhi Bhaktas. It feels some energy. It feels great just to be in the dham, usually, not all the time. Depends on your offenses and your mentality. So basically, but say you may feel good, but you don't, but the dham devotee is much more powerful, much better. Because there you see what goes on in the Dham when the Lord was there 550 years ago or 5,000 years ago in Vrindavan. Otherwise, you go there and you see, okay, maybe the energy feels good and everything. So it says, even leave the guru for that. So what have I been preaching? Oh yeah, if your gurus are adverse to this preaching of Satchidananda, yeah, leave them. Yeah, that's the teaching there, and that's even more so important here. Guru, whatever it is, guru, authority, Bill Gates, Fauci's, Trump's, whatever Vaidhi Bhakti guru you have in ISKCON, that's not an ecstatic devotee, which I don't think any are actually, Rasic devotee. Yeah, you can leave them. You see that's called spiritual greed when the opportunity is there. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, and even more so the devotee than the dham, because there you get it very fast, quick advancement. What's this? Jagan Das told me about this. There are 9 islands in Navadvip Dham, and one's name is Gadrum. Yeah. So anyway, 9 islands probably represents 9 process service. So that's the essence. So go ahead, River, read a little bit. Pick off where you left off.
Okay, from where I left off this morning, Maharaj. Or from where Tom
where he left off.
Tom, can you tell me?
Page 447 in the middle of the page.
When'd you come to 18?
Yes.
The devotees broke out.
Now in the middle of the page, some lower, a little bit lower.
Okay, I'll just start from there, so I know where I am. All glories to my wonderful, awesome spiritual master, Srila Bhaktivedanta Gaura Haridas, who is my Diksha and Shiksha Guru, who opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge, so I can distinguish this illusion from reality, or reality from illusion, for the benefit of myself and others. All glories to you, Paramahamsa Maharaj, Avadut, Acharya of this age. All glories to you. I offer my respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. All glories to you for opening up Krishna consciousness all over the world, for preparing the devotees. All glories to you for ordering Srila Gaura Haridas to teach the second path in his books, Raganuga Bhakti, for this time, place, and circumstance. I offer my respectful obeisances to all the previous acharyas. All glory. All glories to you. I offer my respectful obeisances to the 6 Goswamis, who are like honeybees at the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. All glories to you, Srila Jiva Goswami. All glories to you, Sanatan Goswami. All glories to you, Rupa Goswami. All glories to you, Gopala Goswami. All glories to you, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. All glories to you, Raghunath Das Goswami. Jai 6 Goswami. I offer my respectful obeisances to my life and soul, Sri Chaitanya. All glories to you, my Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances to Nityananda Prabhu, whose life and soul is Sri Chaitanya. All glories to you, Avadut. I offer my respectful obeisances to Advaita Acharya. All glories to you for calling the Lord, who was sleeping in the milk ocean and could not hear our cries, to ascend on this earth and save our souls. All glories to you, Advaita Prabhu. I offer my respectful obeisances to Gadaha Pandit, Srivas Pandit. All glories to you. I offer my respectful obeisances to the personification of pure devotion, to the topmost devotee, Shrimati Radharani. All glories to your lotus feet, my friend. My friend. I offer my respectful obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. All glories to your lotus feet, my Lord of Lords. All glories to you. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Shri Gaura Haridas. Okay, page 447, Madhukanda 18, Chaitanya Bhagavat. The devotees broke out into peals of laughter, seeing this new appearance of Haridas, and asked, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" Haridas replied, "I am a god in Vaikuntha. Continuously, I travel everywhere to awaken Krishna consciousness in all. The Supreme Lord has left his eternal abode, Vaikuntha, to descend here and distribute Krishna to Krishna Prem indiscriminately and profusely. Today, you will dance in the role of Lakshmi Devi. So you should diligently and greedily collect the available love of Krishna. Saying this, he twirled his handlebar mustache, and moved about the arena, stomping and loudly exclaiming with his partner, Muari Gupta. Okay. Saying this, he twirled his handlebar mustache and moved about the arena, stomping and loudly exclaiming with his partner, Muari Gupta. Both these devotees are pure, loving servants of Krishna, and indeed Gaura Chandra is always residing in their hearts. Both these devotees are pure, loving servants of Krishna, and indeed Gaura Chandra is always residing in their hearts. Soon, Srivas Pandit entered the arena. He was addressed as Narada Muni and looking very joyful. He had a long white beard. His body was decorated. His body was decorated with little dots of sandalwood paste. And he carried a veena over his shoulders, and held kusha grass in his hands. He looked about himself as he stood in the middle of the arena. Rimai Pandit followed him in with a folding sitting mat under his arm, holding a renunciate's water pot. Rimai spread the mat from Narada to sit upon. It was as if Narada Muni had appeared in person. The devotees were impressed with Narada's makeup and laughed in appreciation. But Advaita spoke up in a loud, grave voice. Who are you and what brings you here? Srivas replied, listen carefully to my narration. Narada is my name. I am a singer. I sing about Krishna and travel the length and breadth of this unlimited cosmos. In search of Krishna, I have just been to Vaikuntha, and there I was informed. That Krishna has come to Navadvip. In Vaikuntha, I noticed that the houses were empty and practically no one was in sight. I could not remain in such deserted place, even if it were Vaikuntha. So I remembered my Lord and came here. Today, my Lord is dancing here dressed as Lakshmi Devi. That is why you find me here. When Srivas Pandit finished speaking, Today, my Lord is dancing here dressed as Lakshmi Devi. That is why you find me here. When Srivas finished speaking, the Vaishnavas had no doubt that in speech, looks, action, and character, Srivas was the very same person as Narada. The devotees greeted him with loud applause. Mother Sachi was sitting with the other pious and pure ladies, drinking the nectar of Krishna consciousness. that flowed freely in the play. She asked Malini Devi, "Is that bandit? Is that bandit your good husband? Your good husband?" Malini replied, "Indeed, it is so. Sachi Devi is the mother of the universe." She marveled at Srivas Pandit's present appearance and feeling uncomfortable joy. She marveled at Srivas Pandit's present appearance and feeling uncomfortable joy. She fell down unconscious. Everyone was amazed at the wonderful sight. The ladies around Sachi Mata chanted Krishna's names in her ears, and slowly she regained consciousness. And slowly, where am I? Oh, I can't remember where it was. Okay. The ladies around Sachi Devi chanted Krishna's names in her ears, and slowly she regained consciousness. Then, remembering Krishna, Govinda, she again became spiritually. And then she became spiritually restless, making it difficult for the ladies to hold her still. Inside and outside the house, people were moved by beautiful spiritual emotions, and they wept obliviously of everything. Inside the dressing room, Vishwambar had finished dressing, and suddenly he was overcome and captured by the emotions and mood of Rukmini Devi. The Lord forgets himself, thinking and feeling like the princess of Vidraba, Rukmini. He wanted to write a letter to Krishna. He wanted to write a letter to Krishna for help. Tears rolled down his cheeks, and he became his ink. Tears rolled down his cheeks, and he became ink. Mother Earth, the paper, and his finger, the pen. He wrote down the 7th verse of Rukmini Devi's letter to Krishna from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 52, verse 37. The enraptured devotees watched the drama with moisture. Now hear these verses, which call the Supreme Lord to become the husband, the only beloved and protector of Rukmini Devi. Before the devotees, Sri Chaitanya started speaking with the mood and emotion of Rukmini Devi, sending her message to Sri Krishna. He said, "Only my matchless beauty. When I heard of your wonderful qualities, all the material miseries that have set me on fire were quickly removed." Excuse me. The sight of your charming face is the rarest treasure of the world. The sight of your charming face is the rarest treasure of the world. Only those who are given the eyes to see this wonderful sight by the Lord's mercy are truly able to see. O lion-hearted Yadu King, your fame has fanned my heart's desire to reach out to you. In this universe, which chaste maiden can resist the attraction of your lotus feet if she has had but once the opportunity to worship you? In your absence, erudition, aristocracy, character, wealth, beauty, good behavior, and palaces all seem futile and empty. Okay. O Supreme Lord, forgive my shamelessness, for I cannot refrain my yearning heart from rushing out to meet you. Thus, I have yearned your lotus feet and offered my mind, intelligence, and my very life to you. Now kindly make me your maid. Now kindly make me your maidservant by accepting me as your wife. Let not terrible fate make me the object of Shishupal's pleasure. O Lord, let me be your property, so that which is meant for the lion may not be usurped by the jackal. By the jackal. If I've truly worshipped and served the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Achyuta, Vishnu, by austerity, pious works, sacrifices, charity, rituals, and vows, and also by worshipping the demigods, Brahmanas and Gurus, then may Gadagraja, the Lord, who holds the mace, come and take my hand, and not, I don't know what that says, not Damagosha's son, Shishupal, or anyone else. May you become my eternal master, and Shishupal be driven out of my life forever. This is the favor. This is not the only favor I ask of you. Tomorrow, I am supposed to wed this Shishupal. So come immediately without delay. At first, remain secretly near the palace in hiding, and then enter the palace assembly with your army. You must take me from the midst of such kings as Saibaya, I don't know if that's right, Salva and Jara Sundra, with your villa and might. This is the opportunity to show off your Kshatra pride and strength. Your wife is not meant to be desecrated by Susipal. However, you will have to kidnap me from amongst my friends and relatives. So you must be careful not to harm them. I have a plan how this can be accomplished, and I place it for approval at your lotus feet. It is customary in our family that the bride to visit the temple of Durga Devi on the day before her marriage. This is the best chance for you to kidnap me without hurting my Forgive me, my Lord, if I sound offensive, but the dust of your lotus feet is covered by all the goddesses and demigods, and even Lord Shiva desires to cover his body with this dust. If you do not offer me the same as a token of your mercy, then I will surely take an oath to quit this body. Oh, my lotus-eyed Lord, please listen. I am willing to go through as many lifetimes as is required, but I must receive the dust of your lotus feet. Chaitanya, excuse me. Chaitanya then turned to the Brahmana and said, have you heard carefully, O Brahmana? Now run swiftly to Krishna with this message and beg him on my behalf. Thus, the Lord manifested Rukmini's mood and emotions, making the devotees somewhat weak. And at other times, all this happening under the influence of love of Krishna. Lord Hari's name, love of Krishna. Chandraskara's house reverberated with the jubilant sounds of Lord Hari's name. Haridas continued his duty as the god who wakes up everyone, and Srivas Pandit, playing Narada Muni, contributed by dancing. The first scene ended upon his merry note. The first scene ended upon his merry note. The second scene commenced with Gadadhar Pandit as Ramdev entering the arena with his old lady companion, enacted by Brahmananda. Brahmananda was so well costumed with a net-like cloth draped over the shoulders that he was unrecognizable in his role as an old lady with a stick in one hand and a bucket clamped under the other. Haridas inquired, to where are you, my ladies, traveling? Brahmananda replied, Mathura is our destination. Srivas Pandit probed further, who are your husbands? Brahmananda replied, why must you know that? Srivas said, it is not proper to ask. Brahmananda simply said, yes, and shook his head. Gangadhar said, where will you stay today? Brahmananda replied, why do you ask? Oh, will you give us a place to stay? Will you give us a place? Gangadhar said, this is a big request. No need for further discussion. You should move away from here. Advaita Acharya then spoke up. What is the necessity for such interrogations? Others' wives are to be respected as one's mother. So why talk in this manner? However, my Lord is extremely fond of singing and dancing. So dance now, and you will receive some handsome rewards. Advaita Acharya's words. Advaita Acharya's words were soothing to Gadadhar Pandit, and being encouraged and pleased, he began to dance. He began to dance. He was dressed as Ramdev. Lakshmi Devi and his dancing were enrapturing. Everybody's gone. The devotees sang appropriate songs in accompaniment.
I'm not gone.
Okay. devotees sang appropriate songs and accompaniment. The devotees found themselves unable. Why is it doing that?
Doing what? What's it doing?
It's echoing, Maharaj.
Oh, it could be. Okay, I'll
And Maharaj, if you can hear me, Mary wants to come live as well. Okay. The devotees found themselves unable to remain patient. They were moved to tears by Gadadhar's ecstatic dancing. Gadadhar's tears of love of Krishna cascaded down to be received most gratefully by the fortunate mother. It was as if Ganga Devi had appeared in person. Indeed, the transcendental internal potency of Lord Krishna was perfectly portrayed. As Lord Chaitanya would so often say, Gadadhar is my dearest companion from Vaikuntha. Oh, I'm sorry. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare. Those present in the assembly, the performing artists and the audience were enraptured in Krishna praying by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. All around, Lord Hari's name was chanted loudly, accompanied by tears of loving ecstasy. Gadadhar Pandit, steeped in the mood of a gopi, danced and danced. Just then, Vishvambar entered the arena, addressed as the original pleasure potency of the Lord, Radharani. In his front, Nityananda as the Nityananda as the old grandmother, Puramasi, walked slightly bent, looking astutely about herself. Her whole demeanor exuded ecstatic love for Krishna. The Vaishnava assembly greeted them with loud, jubilant applause. It was impossible to recognize Chaitanya as he had dressed himself very well and looked most charming. The audience saw just two ladies. The elderly lady played Nityananda Prabhu, and the young enchantress played by Chaitanya, but nothing indicated their actual identities. The assembly tried to guess who was who, but no one could definitely decide. They started to wonder how Ramdev, Lakshmi Devi just now appeared out of the ocean. or were this Sita Devi, the consort of Lord Ramachandra? Maybe she was Mahalakshmi, the eternal consort of Lord Narayan, or Parvati Devi, the wife of Lord Shiva. In this, the most precious gem of Vrindavan, Shrimati Radha. Is this the most precious gem of Vrindavan, Shrimati Radharani, or perhaps Ganga Devi, or even Mahamaya? Each devotee imagined and guessed without recognizing the Lord. Even persons who had known the Lord since birth were also fully deceived. What to speak of the other people being misled? Even Mother Sachi failed to recognize her own son. She said, "This must be Lakshmi Devi herself, come here to dance." The consort and pleasure potency of the Lord, Shrimati Radharani, is inconceivable, and Lord Hari, the Supreme Personality of the Supreme Lord himself, was now playing her part. The bewitching form of the Lord's consort and potency had just put Shiva and Parvati Devi into illusion. Parvati Devi into illusion. Yet presently, the assembled Vaishnavas did not experience the same effect by the Lord's special grace upon them. The Lord showed him unlimited compassion. The Lord showed his unlimited compassion on the Vaishnavas, like a mother tending her young ones. All the devotees felt that the beautiful consort manifest by Chaitanya was their mother on a visit from the spiritual realm. The exaltations were unreserved and they forgot themselves. Advaita and all the devotees were swept away on waves of bliss, in love of Krishna, seeing their beloved Lord dressed in the role of Lakshmi Devi. Vishwambar, as Lakshmi Devi, was the universal mother and has Vishwambar, as Lakshmi Devi, was the universal mother, and as he danced, being overtaken by different emotions, the singers sang appropriate songs, complementing the Lord's mood. The devotees could not discern with certainty what or whose spiritual emotions were being manifested by the Lord's dancing. When the Lord suddenly asked, "O Brahmana, has Krishna arrived?" then they understood that the Lord was Rukmini Devi, the princess of Vaikuntha. When cascading tears decorated the Lord's then the Vaishnavas seemed to think that the Lord was Ganga Devi in person. Moreover, when the Lord laughed with ear-splitting pearls, they assumed that he was the ferocious form of Mahamaya, Durga Devi. At times, when he danced swaying and spinning like a drunken lady, they thought that he was Rivati, wife of Lord Balaram. Another time, when the Lord said, "Oh, grandmother, come, let us go to Vrindavan." Let us go to Vrindavan. The Vaishnavas guessed that he was none other than a gopi from Vrindavan. When the Lord sat upon the throne of the deities, the Vaishnavas the Vaishnavas, excuse me, the Vaishnavas recognized him as the all-powerful goddess controller of the material world. The Vaishnavas recognized him as the all-powerful goddess controller of the material world, Durga Devi. One by one, the Lord played the role of his different Shaktis. I think that's how you say it, Shaktis. Eternal potencies. In addition to performing this transcendental pastime for everyone's pleasure, the Lord was simultaneously given an important spiritual instruction. No one should at any time diminish or criticize the expansion of his energy, the many demigods and goddesses. By showing proper love and reverence for them, one strengthens his devotion and love towards Sri Krishna. Lord Krishna is unhappy if his devotees, the demigods, the goddesses, are offended. Krishna became very content, yes. Krishna became very content if he is offered worship along with his energies and associates. This instruction of the Supreme Lord is the absolute truth. Only the impious are unable to receive and implement it. The Lord's dancing completely captivated everyone's heart and mind, whether someone was sitting in accompaniment or just listening and seeing his dancing. Or just listening and sitting and seeing his dancing, they all experience sublime joy. Spontaneous tears of Krishna praying rained from the eyes of all assembled Vaishnavas. With great pleasure, the Lord saw that his devotees, who are like honeysuckle bees, attracted by nectar of his lotus, who are like honeysuckle bees attracted by nectar of his lotus feet, were around him in great happiness. The Lord displayed all the ecstatic devotional symptoms, shivering, perspiring profusely, horripilation, tears, etc., simultaneously. He danced holding Nityananda's hand. Sriman Pandit stood in front holding a lamp, and Haridas went around calling everyone's attention. Just then, Nityananda fell to the ground unconscious, unconcerned about his grandmother's costume, and rolled as Purumasi. Okay. Just then, Nityananda fell to the ground unconscious, unconcerned about his grandmother's costume, and rolled as Purumasi. He was overwhelmed by love of Krishna. At this wonder, the devotees looked on in amazement and themselves became restless with ecstatic feelings. They began to weep, feeling the overpowering influence of love of Krishna. Feeling the overpowering influence of love of Krishna. All this was being done unseen by Gauranga. Some devotees rolled upon the ground, others embarrassed each other, and still others wept. Others embraced each other, others embraced each other, and still others wept loudly in great joy. At this juncture, Lord Chaitanya took hold of Gopinath and sat down with him on Sri Vishnu's throne once again, manifesting his mood of Mahalakshmi. As the devotees stood around him with folded hands, he said, "Chant prayers to glorify me." Discerning the Lord's mood, the devotees offered their eulogies. Some recited prayers to Lakshmi Devi, others to Chandi, Durga.
Okay, we'll pick up in a little bit. That we'll come back to that. Let's chant a little bit now. Break it up a little bit. Great reading there. Thank you.
Thank you, Maya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. All right, here we go. Chant a little bit here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Maybe we'll do a little this kind of chant. Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. All right. Okay, I'm going to stop for a little bit, and if whoever wants to go on, you can take over the ball. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
I could say something. I did look back on my Chaitanya Bhagavat, and I have about 8 or 9 places I want to ask you about.
Thanks for
It
using.
could be part of another class or something.
You can do it now. Go ahead.
I didn't hear anything. It was all echo.
Well, mute your, everybody else mute.
Echo.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Well, one place in the Madhya Lila of Chaitanya Bhagavat is let me read it and then I'll ask you what the question is.
I think, Maharaj, you have to mute your microphone.
Is anybody else getting an echo?
Not right now, but I got an echo on what Karuna said.
Yeah, well, it's Karuna. You mute your microphone there, Karuna. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, it says Lord Nityananda supported in every respect the moods of Lord Chaitanya as he dances a gopi. One who is devoid of. I'm hearing an echo now.
Well, everybody else mute their microphone.
Yeah.
River, you mute yours. Let's see if it works. Or I'll mute mine too. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
One who is devoid of devotional feelings will never relish such spiritual exchanges. One must be graced by Lord Krishna. Only then can one comprehend the real absolute identity of Lord Nityananda. One may consider Lord Nityananda as a yogi or experienced philosopher, devotee,
Well, you're going too. Wait. You're going too far.
Okay, you know what? I'll have to do my homework. I'll have to go back.
No. I mean, just go to the first sentence and ask a question. What is your question now about?
Well, I don't know because this particular one was one I wrote some time ago. I got to do my homework. We'll have to. I have to refresh on it. So sorry about that. It was just that particular one is an old question, and I don't know what it is. So I need to do my homework.
Well, I'll just answer it anyway, because it's a good idea. Yeah. If you're devoid, that's the whole thing. That's why you got to get this mercy. You got to get that mercy comes through the devotee, the associate, the spiritual master, the real one. Otherwise, you won't understand. You won't understand these moods. You won't understand the philosophy. You won't understand real Krishna consciousness. Yeah. So everybody is putting on a big show right now in Krishna consciousness, and until they get this loving ecstasy, this attraction to Lord Chaitanya. Read the first sentence again.
Hold on. I went to the next one thinking it might be easier to formulate a question. Lord Nityananda supported in every respect the moods of Lord Chaitanya as he danced. One who is devoid of devotional feelings will never relish such spiritual exchanges.
Yeah, so you're going to have to, you have to get these. If you're devoid of spiritual feelings, you have to get them. That's the whole point. And most people are. I mean, that's love of God, man. It's very, you feel this loving attraction for Lord Chaitanya, and it's ecstatic and it's pure, and it's so. So that either if you have a little bit of that, it has to be developed. It doesn't develop nicely in the Vaidhi community because the Vaidhis usually are devoid of that feeling right now. They're not awakened. See? So even if you have some, you have to go into a society of devotees who have this ecstatic devotion, and then it can develop. And if you don't have it at all, you have to come into that association too. And if you're attracted to that, then you can stay there and hang out there and learn there. Otherwise, you'll go somewhere else. A lot of people, what I'm finding in this Kali Yuga, a lot of people don't care about their physical body. They don't care about their emotional body. They don't care about their mind, and they definitely don't care about their spiritual body. That's why everybody's lining up for the friggin' shot. They don't care enough to go and do research about what they're doing is good for them or bad for them because they don't care. This is the kind of the world we're living in. People just don't care. Generally, I'm just speaking generally. those who do, they care about their physical body. They care about their emotions and their mind. And well, you know, we're here to kind of canvas for the spiritual body. I mean, that's, you know, obvious. Most people don't even know it exists. See, so that's our work here too. But also, you got to care about your physical body. Even here, people just, you know, they're just lazy, man. They don't even. Some people in Sangha, they don't do any research. They just listen to the public. You know, everybody, the government's all lying to them. You know. Actually, everybody should watch the Truman Show, because that's life, man. It's a Truman Show. Everybody is designing, geoengineering, you know, your life here in this world. The government, the politicians, the mainstream media. And you got to break out of that. And that's what we're trying to do here. We help people break out of that. You can't believe in their bullshit, man. They're like leading a herd in a certain direction. That's the Lord's Maya. You know, you got to, so here you have a chance to break out of it. So people are, if you want to know Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, you got to stick around. So here we try to even protect people physically, because over 2 years, I did a lot of research. People all should get Telegram. You know, I put the stuff that is relevant, how to save your physical body. Otherwise, if you don't be listening to this stuff, you're going to get caught up. You're going to believe them, and you're going to be caught up in a lie, and you're going to be out of here. People who have taken this injection, you'll probably only have 2 or 3 years left. So take advantage of it. And if you live on, you'll probably be very sick. And that is just, from all the research I've done, that is pretty factual. There's no good to that thing at all. It's a depopulation thing. So get it clear, because they're always, they're lolly-dollying it. And if I don't say anything, you just go and listen to that and you start to believe, oh, it's very good. Look at Facebook. You notice on Facebook, every post is everything. Oh, it's safe and effective. It's safe and effective. It's not. It's the complete opposite. People are projecting all these things, the opposite now. Everything is opposite, inverted. See? So listen here, and you'll learn how to protect your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, and awaken your spiritual and nurture the spiritual body. I mean, it's a really great place to be. It's like an oasis in this desert. And take it seriously. Then you can take it playfully. If you don't take this seriously, you can't take it playfully. David said, everything comes back to prasad. When you make and offer things to the Lord, all things fall into place. Physical, mental, spiritual. Oh, Kamala, yeah. Yeah, but what kind of prasad? The devout Vaishnavas have been offering prasad to the Lord, and look at them now. They're all lining up for the shots. This kind of prasad is important, really important. Yeah, okay. So anyway, did you have a second question? One second comment? Why don't you put that up?
Yeah. Let's see. It says the Vedas clearly describe that if one hears criticism, I'm echoing again. Echoing.
Oh.
The Vedas clearly describe that if one hears criticism of a Vaishnava devotee of the Lord, then he loses all his accumulated piety and is cast into an abominable conditions of life, birth after birth. The dacoit suffers but a lifetime of hell, whereas the Vaishnava offender goes through endless miseries. Thus the dacoit is far better than one who is offensive to a Vaishnava. So I don't know. I've got to ask you about that. I'm just wondering how it is. I'm echoing again. how a dacoit can kind of get off easier than somebody who offends a Vaishnava.
Yeah, because that's the ultimate teaching is you know, we read about this yesterday. Even the persons in the lowest position, if they come and associate and are friendly to real Vaishnavas, especially when they're preaching here in this world, preaching what we're preaching, a dacoit will get a better position than a person who offends the devotees. It's just this. Most Vaishnavas, they say they don't offend Vaishnavas, but they don't know what a real Vaishnava is. They don't know somebody who carries a spiritual potency in and brings it into this world. So they think, oh, just let us not offend each other, you know, or don't say anything that makes me unhappy, or you know, or even if it's the truth, you know, it just people don't know what an offense is. See, so the real Vaishnavas are Satchidananda preaching when they're preaching here. This is what delivers people. If you just take their association and learn from them, and see what they're presenting and become attracted, see, then you can make it quicker than these persons in Vaidhi or worship in religion. It's basically religion, and they criticize and all that stuff. But anyway, it just is what it is, because if that's your nature, it's your nature. And even those persons eventually get in, because that stuff it's just in their heart and it's coming out. But a dacoit can get in. You know, Jesus said the prostitutes will get in before the Pharisees into the kingdom. He didn't say the Pharisees wouldn't get into the kingdom. He said they're going to come in first because they listen to me. They like my preaching. Yeah, they're taking shelter. That's why you guys are getting it. You notice, if you like this preaching, I mean, really from your heart, and you really want Krishna. You're not coming here because you want to, get a big position. You want to be equal, or you think you really know, stuff like that. If you come here because you really want Krishna, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get his potency. You're going to get attraction. Does that make sense to you there, Sachino?
Yeah, I've it does.
Yeah,
I've understood.
it does.
Maybe that's why sometimes we can I feel like I can hang out with people that are I don't know. Never mind. I'm not real clear. I was just going to say sometimes I feel like I can hang out with or help people that are not necessarily Krishna conscious, but as long as they're not saying bad things about someone who's Krishna conscious.
Say that.
Well, it has to do with maybe that's why I feel like I can help somebody in their garden or whatever that's not Krishna conscious, but as long as they're not saying things that are offensive to a Krishna conscious person about a Krishna conscious person.
About a Krishna conscious person.
Well, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Okay, anything else? Any other question or comment?
Well, I have a few of 8 or 10, but I probably need, I can give it a shot on another one. Give it a try.
Give it a shot.
Give it a try. Let's see. So this one is going back a few pages. It says the Lord was continuing on his journey. When they were only 8 miles from Frakreshwar, the Lord decided to change direction. He turned around and went east instead of west. He was blissful and laughing, and finally he revealed the mystery behind his laughter and his change of direction. He said, I'm going to Neelachal, Puri, because Lord Jagannath has instructed me. You should come to Puri immediately. I'm going to read the rest of that paragraph because it's got 2 places to ask you about that one. The devotees were relieved to learn of the Lord's plan. No one could know the Lord's mind. Only by His grace, His intimate devotees can know His inner desires. Who can fathom why the Lord was first going to go to Vakashwar, but He didn't really end up going? It seems the Lord, in a deceptive way, was purifying the residents of the district of Radha by His presence. There was no other reason for Him to go to Radha. I guess my question would be there, or comment would be there, is how He decides to go one direction and then He suddenly changes His mind and goes the other way. And He's purifying the residents because of His actions. And it says, it seems the Lord, in a deceptive way, purifying the residents of the district of Radha by His presence. There was no other reason for Him to go to Radha.
All right, yeah, okay, purifying in a deceptive way. Okay, so now so deceiving in a deceptive way is, I have an intention is I want to purify these residents, but I don't want to look like I'm in false ego that I'm going there to purify. And I don't want, so in a deceptive way, he's going a certain, he's got this plan already. See, but people, they don't know how the Lord works spontaneously in a sense. So he's going down here and so he says, spontaneously, let me go and purify the residents. But he's not telling everybody he's going to do that. So it's a deception. He just changes directions and starts going over there and purifies that Radha Desh or wherever he went. They don't know. He didn't say, okay, I'm going to go and purify the residents. So it's a deception. He just turned direction and nobody knows why. So you're deceived. He had this intention all along. See? So well, you know how you know this, how you learn this? Look at the world. Okay? Let's take Bill Gates. He has a real big plan to depopulate the world through this. And what does he do? In a deceptive way, see, that's his real intention. So his real intention is to depopulate, sterilize, and do all kinds of, help big pharma, make money, all these materialistic motives, right? But he tells you, I think this will be very good for the world. This will stop them from disease, and it'll help them, fight this and fight that. When his whole other attention is something different. See? So his intention is to maim you, but he doesn't tell you. That's deception. See? He's got a ulterior motive, and it's not a very good one. See? The Lord has an ulterior motive, but it's for the benefit of the world, because that's the way the Lord rolls. He's pure consciousness. He wants to liberate people. So his deceptions, they result in liberating souls. See? His Maya has the opposite. It entraps you in the illusory energy. See? It actually destroys things. It destroys your body and all these things. Destroys your mind. So the right in the world now is very deceptive. Okay? Very deceptive. So the Lord he used deception to purify people. That's why, so they use that word. Does that make sense to you there, Sachi?
No, I don't see how the Lord could ever be deceptive.
That's because you're too good. You're just too good.
Goody two shoes.
Yes, you're too much of a goody two shoes, and that blinds you. Don't worry about it.
It has to be really blatant, and then I'm like, I got
it. Does that make sense to you, River, what I said? Yep. Yeah. How about you, Karuna?
I'm one of those people that just doesn't get the joke.
That just doesn't get the joke.
Okay. All right. So anyway, that's that. My opinion there. Okay, maybe that's enough. I think that's enough. I for some reason I just gotta stop. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Hare Krishna. See you
Hare
soon.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.